paying attention to it.
Yeah, but then there's also UVA Miami. It's the old Schadenfreude Thursday night game. That's always fun.
The UGA. Listen to me.
Well, that'd be a bloodbath.
That would be a bloodbath. Yeah. No, the UVA Miami game is interesting. That's a 2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers back to you game, Miami. Where are you at? How close are you to calling it a day? Could it be already that they say that's it, that's all? Because I mean that Virginia team has been bludgeoned lately. That little nice story to start the year, it's going away.
But they can still put up points if you don't show up.
Oh, if you don't care to play, they'll beat you. I mean, maybe in the show today we get a little Here Comes Virginia. We'll see. We might be in there.
Only done that once or twice since we've been over here on this particular frequency.
Yeah, we haven't had cause. Virginia let me down recently. I forget the game. Oh, was it Wake? I think it was. Yeah. I had Virginia against Wake, and then Wake said, no, we're going to score 100 points on Virginia. And, okay. All right. So I learned my lesson with Wake. By the way, the Redemption Thursday menu on the Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Metro Deli in downtown Tallahassee. For nearly 2 decades, Metro Deli serving up the best breakfast and lunch in downtown. You'll see that menu in a second. We haven't posted it yet, but you will. Go see Rob and the fellas at 104 South Monroe between College and Park, online at MetroDeliTally.com. There it is. There are the games. All right, so for those listening, here you go. Let's get to the picks. You're going to have fun if you're watching.
Oh, my goodness.
You're going to have fun if you're watching. The Redemption Thursday picks, wagers, menu. You know, this lets you know who I am. I don't think there's any question here. If you're watching on Warchant TV, get ready to have fun. We've added to the menu, and I think you'll enjoy it. We start the day with the NFL. Last week, had a fun little 3-team, 6-point teaser in the NFL that cashed for me. And I was able to successfully chase the money I had lost in college football. Now, kids, that's not, you don't want to do that. You don't want to chase what you've lost. That's how you get further in debt. But
that's not what you do.
But I felt very good about it. I couldn't believe the 3 that I was able to get. And I said, those are straight up winners. That's an easy walk in the park. Turned out it mostly was. Arizona made me nervous for about a good 2.5 quarters worth of football, where I'm like, are we going to fool around here and lose to Jacksonville, Arizona? Is that what we're doing?
Fool around. That's what you said.
Yeah.
You said fool around.
I did. I said, what are we doing here? But as it turned out, they just late bloomers on that afternoon, and they ended up making enough plays, and we got that covered. What you do is you tease down the key numbers. Key numbers in the NFL are 3 and 7. Statistically speaking, most games, the margin of victory or defeat is 3 and 7. And so you're trying to tease either down under 3 or over 7 in some cases, or under 7 in some cases. So they'll let you play with 6 points. And bottom line is, I did that with 3 games, and I was able to tease down the Packers from being a 7.5 point favorite to only having to be a half point victor. That is to say, they just have to win the game. They just have to win the game. If they win 34-33, I win. Doesn't matter. It's a half point. So there you go. Got that? But all 3 of these have to hit for the teaser to work. Saints minus a 1.5 is the one I'm most nervous about against the Giants. They haven't looked good. Saints haven't looked good. But their defense has lately.
Yeah, has Jameis thrown for 200 yards in a game yet?
It's been weird. It's been a weird
I don't know
deal.
that he has.
He's not turning it over, but not doing a lot of other things either. So minus 1.5, and then Cincinnati against Jacksonville.
All right. So you'll know early on.
I'll know whether this teaser's going to. I like to get out the gates with a little something on a Redemption Thursday. We don't need to fool around until Friday or Saturday. Let's go right here, right now. Let's find the first leg comes on through. Let's go. Hope that nag crosses the line and we're off to the races, baby. I think we're going to get it tonight.
Never heard that term before. All right.
Nag? Yeah. It's horse racing term.
Well, they were called stags.
You can call them nags. The nag came in. Yeah. So anyhow, Cincinnati minus a 1.5. That's the first leg of this 3-team 6-point teaser pleaser. Little teaser pleaser to start the day. That's number 1. Number 2, we go into college football, and away we go. Utah State let me down. It was a weird game. They had 480 some odd yards of offense and put up 6 points. They kept fumbling in the damn red zone.
6 points?
Yeah, they got screwed last week. It was insane. They were terrible. It won't happen again. They're getting 8.5 against BYU. I'm taking them plus the 8.5, plus the over for this game at 61.5. We're doubling down, baby. We're getting them all in, huh? Wake -6. Wake, I'm on board. You got me. I'm on board. Whatever it is you are, which really looks wholly average on a daily basis, but you just keep on keeping on. And I saw the way that Louisville struggled with us in the run game. And okay, Wake -6.5. I'll do it. I like it. Give me Wake. Charlotte plus 10.5 against Illinois.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums. I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
I like the Eugene Levy one maybe more than others because
He's fully transparent.
he's fully transparent. I'm on there and behind him laughing.
You should climb up into the camera so you're just looking over his shoulder.
Pop him back up there on the feed here.
There he is.
That is great. That's fun. Yeah, there you go. We have Charlotte plus 10.5 against Illinois. I've done well betting against Illinois this year. That's been a good thing. Minnesota plus 2.5. Minnesota.
There we go.
Oh, buddy. This is an overreaction line to them losing, admittedly, at home as a 30-point favorite to Bowling Green. That's a toughie. That's maybe worse than ours. It's right up there. But I think this is an overreaction. They're getting points against Purdue. I like them to win the game outright.
That's actually a result that made the grounds at Whistling Straits.
Oh, it was
People were
crazy.
talking about that in the grandstands.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I kept seeing the score pop up. I'm like, no, you're not gonna fool around. It must have been like the rest of the nation when Jacksonville State beat us. Like, they're not gonna fool around. And let
You should have heard
State, I mean,
the accents. Like they were real. Like,
yeah.
you're like, you hear what happened to the Gophers? It's all around.
Oh, that's good. I like Minnesota. They're getting 2.5. Row the boat, damn it. Army minus 7.5 against Ball State. Army will steamroll Ball State. Ball State has no desire. You got to stick your head in there and against this offense. You know what you got to do against Army.
Ball State.
No Ball State at all. Give me Army minus the 7.5. I'll come back with Nebraska, who should have beat Michigan State. They've actually played pretty decent football the last 3 weeks. I'll take Nebraska minus 12. Northwestern is just a sorry sight. I can't. I don't see
That's
them.
right. That's minus. They're a 12-point favorite over. What has happened to Northwestern?
Northwestern has fallen off a cliff.
They remembered who they were.
Mm-hmm. They're awful. Whatever is happening in Washington ain't good. I mentioned this before. It makes me sad because I kind of like that program an awful lot. And Coach Lake is just failing Washington. Husky fans everywhere have got to be devastated because they can't score. They scored over half their points this year, Washington has, Tom, against the Sun Belt team in Arkansas State. Everybody else, they just get completely shut down. So I went twofold. I'm actually on my real card going twofold here, so I'll give you a little bonus play. I took Oregon State. The Beavers are a surprise. How about those Beavers?
All right, Benny the Beaver.
Yay, Beavers. They're 3-1. Minus 2.5. I'll give the 2.5 points, but also I'll take the team total under on Washington, which is 27.5. I'm going under that team total. They aren't going to – they'll sniff 27 points.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Now, this perhaps deserves every GIF we have, every one we got. I knew the second I typed this in to send it to Director Matthew, I snickered. I was at home. You could have just pictured me by myself, quiet house, 2 dogs at my feet. I've got music low in the background. I'm sending in my picks. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. I like that.
Was it jazz music?
It was jazz, actually.
Yep.
How did you know?
I just had a feeling because you were describing a peaceful setting.
Yeah.
So you weren't listening to Maiden. You know?
No, right. No, I wasn't. Yeah, I was listening to jazz. That's a good call, Tom. But as I was typing,
because I was there.
Sneaking around, I typed in the first 2 letters for the team that I picked, and I went, I did. I literally went, UTEP, folks, minus 5.5 against Old Dominion. Here we go, UTEP. Yeah, that's a
I actually had the software get mad at me and said something else is playing. Stop hitting buttons.
So
it literally did.
I have to tell you, you know, yeah, the 2-for-1 on the college sports book. Yes, Abdel, you are correct. It did. It made it on there. I picked that one for sure. Let me tell you something about the Miners. This is a team that may go to a bowl. They have been so bad. They have been so bad for so long. I'm really rooting for this to happen. So let's go, Miners. Get it together. I think this is win 4 or 5 for them. If they get it, they got to get this game because they're not going to win too many more. So they may go bowling. Old Dominion. Wait till you hear this story. I told this on the College Sports Book. You guys can subscribe to the College Sports Book on YouTube. In fact, I'd appreciate it if you did. Now, listen here really quickly. You're going to love this. Old Dominion, Tom, last week, when I was researching my bets, sometimes you come across funny things. And I was talking about while you were in Kohler, yucking it up with friends and family, enjoying the world, and we were working. I forgot to tell you that, or I didn't, I told the audience, but I didn't tell you, a big thing to do as you get into this stuff is to definitely, you go back because you can't watch every game. Nobody has time for that. You got to box score research. You can go all around the country, rapid fire box score research.
Box score research.
So you got to do box score research. And I was doing box score research. I was looking to see trends in certain things. Teams, this defense terrible. This one's stout. This guy's playing better. Oh, they made a change at quarterback. Oh, there have been key injuries to Indiana. These kinds of things, right? So you're looking where you try to take advantage there. And I, of course, did not watch the Old Dominion Buffalo game. I mean, why would I watch the Old Dominion Buffalo game? But I looked at the box score because I've made money betting against Old Dominion. And I want to keep making money betting against Old Dominion. I just find wherever they go and I bet against them. And so I was like, okay, what did Old Dominion do? And as I looked at the box score, I went, oh, those poor bastards. I actually felt terrible. So then I wanted to know more about how it happened because the box score told a weird story. First half, Buffalo 35, Old Dominion 7. So as usual, Old Dominion's just out here taking ass beatings by Buffalo, right? Or anybody else like that. Then I go and I see the second half and I see that they lost by a point. Buffalo came all the way back. And I saw that they scored what should have been, and then I looked it up on YouTube, the game-tying touchdown with 19 seconds to play. So here's poor Old Dominion. They have not beaten an FBS school since 2018. They have not won a game against an FBS school since 2018. They're down 35-7 to Buffalo. It's been a dreadful year. They have no reason in the world to fight, but they do fight, Tom. They do fight. They fight.
This sounds too familiar. This is too close to home.
I know. They fight for one another. They fight for their coach. They fight Old Dominion pride. They're there. They come rallying back. They shut down Buffalo. They get all the way back. They score what should be the game-tying touchdown. And they go they're getting set to kick the extra point, and they get a 15-yard penalty for the celebration of the touchdown. They went too far, and they got a flag. They had to move it back 15 yards, and the son of a bitch missed the kick.
I'm sure he's a good kid. Hang on now.
But he missed good Lord, missed the kick. So he misses it, and they lose by a point, and they still haven't beaten an FBS school since 2018. So then I see that they're playing UTEP. They're playing UTEP, and I like that UTEP team. And I said, they're devastated. There's no chance Old Dominion picks themselves off the mat for this one. That's just too much to overcome. I don't think it happens. Give me UTEP and give the 5.5 to Old Dominion. Crestfallen Old Dominion as they are. And then finally, I took Troy +7 against South Carolina. I've had the occasion, unfortunately, love the occasion to watch too much South Carolina football, and that I've bet against them almost every week. My lock of the week last week came through. That was Kentucky against South Carolina, given 5, whatever that was. South Carolina doesn't have a quarterback. They just can't play. They look terrible when you watch them. It's awful. It's hard to watch them. I also took them when they barely beat East Carolina. So as it plays out, I went ahead and I went against South Carolina here. Give me Troy plus those 7 points. I don't know if Troy will win the game.
All right, that's a big name.
But I think they'll do it. Whoa, man, alive. Look at here.
Nice use of the photo, Matthew.
Steven
Stevenson comes in and says, thanks for the advice.
Boy, does
in a big way.
Hey, Stephen, thank you so much for contributing to the Jeff Cameron Show, and I'm glad to give you the picks. He writes, I love the picks, JC. Hope all is well, guys. I am coming in for the NC State game this year. Oof. I don't think you have to worry about the Noles coming to Shreveport this year. You are right, Steven Stevenson, and you are kind with that very generous gesture, to say the least. That's awfully nice. Appreciate you. So those are your Redemption Thursday wagers. And again, we also want to thank our friends at Metro Deli sponsoring Redemption Thursday. Metro Deli, go downtown, see Rob, get that delicious food. Somebody tweeted the other day that they were going to Metro Deli and they asked me what I get. And I tweeted back to them, I get the turkey grinder. I get the turkey grinder and I usually get it on a spinach wrap. And it's delicious. Sometimes I get it on a sun-dried tomato wrap.
Yeah, got the sun-dried tomato wrap as well.
Yeah. Sun-dried tomato wrap is really good too. And I don't know why. Their turkey grinder is better than any turkey grinder I've ever had. I mean that legitimately. I don't know what it is about what they do, but it's a perfect damn sandwich. Yeah. It's incredible.
The grilled chicken grinder is excellent as well. I throw some jalapenos on that.
Oh, got to.
Matthew gets the Greek salad. Yeah. Everybody has something they like. Multiple things, really.
Forget about it. It's a great place,
The Italian's good, too.
I love it. There's nothing there that's not. All right, we'll get to it. We'll talk some Florida State here in a second. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Real Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000. Why? Because money talks.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Your next chance to win is coming up during the Jeff Cameron Show at 2 p.m. Listen out for the keyword, then click on the Real Talk Money megaphone at realtalk93.com. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Did you know that in a single year, more than $1 trillion of Social Security benefits were paid out? If you're nearing retirement age and have questions about your Social Security, I can help. This is Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions. If you've been concerned about your Social Security benefits, give me a call for a free consultation to learn how we can help maximize your Social Security benefits. I'm online at collinsincometaxsolutionsllc.com or give me a call directly at 850-391-7659.
God gave us two ends, one to think with and one to sit on. Success in life depends on which one you use. Heads, you win. Tails, you lose. Hi, I'm Rick Hughes, host of The Flatline. Heard every Sunday morning here at 7:30 a.m. on Real Talk 93.3 Tallahassee Real Talk Station. Come join me, 30 minutes of motivation, inspiration, and some education as I seek to reveal God's plan by teaching 10 unique problem-solving devices. Every Sunday morning, 7:30 a.m., 93.3 Real Talk Tallahassee.
Every now and then, you find a true hidden gem in a sea of ordinary, like Carrie's Nursery and Landscaping, a family-owned landscaping company on Meridian Road. It's more than a nursery. Full landscape designs, tree trimming and tree removal, sod, pavers and patios, drainage, land clearing, outdoor lighting, and water features. The list goes on and on. Shop local at Carrie's Nursery and Landscaping. You'll leave feeling blessed with an extended family you never knew you needed. Visit Carrie's Nursery and Landscaping off Meridian Road, just north of
Verno Heating and Air is helping you get ready for summer with $1,500 off select new units, 0% financing for qualified buyers, plus worry-free maintenance plans. Learn more or schedule online at VernoAC.com. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Verno Heating and Air today. Total license CAC 1816186.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks, but real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings and retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff.
TV. A lot of good games this weekend. A lot of good games. We still haven't had the Park Your Ass Saturday.
This one's close.
It's close. I was thinking it was close because Notre Dame Cincinnati is in essence a playoff elimination game. We'll see if Cincinnati's for real. That Notre Dame offensive line it's hard to fathom how bad they've been. I talked with a guy at Notre Dame this week, Mike Singer of blueandgold.com, and I interviewed him for the college sportsbook preview of this game. And I said, I brought up some numbers that they had posted on their site about this offensive line and the advanced metrics showing that they were below 100th and something in the country in terms of efficiency ratings in the run game. And then pass blocking hasn't been great either, but they don't run real well at all. And we found that out up close and personal. And I think that was partly due because Florida State's front four is good. It's legitimately good. If they don't get worn down by being on the damn field all day. And then if they don't get betrayed with the linebackers and the run fits and some of the problems at the back end. But the front four is good. So I think Notre Dame, we saw that night what they were going to be. And we also saw that Florida State in some ways was going to be a lot better up front too. But Notre Dame has subsequently gone on to be even worse up front. Yet they keep winning games. I mean, I give Brian Kelly all the credit in the world. He's average everywhere just about offensively. And they just keep winning games. So, you'd like to work through your problems as you have an undefeated record. And that's what they've been able to do.
Then also you've got Georgia, Arkansas, and Alabama, Ole Miss. So, I mean, that's a really good start. And considering that this season is not one in which you would have the oligarchy, the usual 4 or 5 just dominating every weekend,
really good.
And you're looking for, that one game that they have on the schedule where they could lose, and then that's your Park Your Ass Saturday. Every weekend could have chaos. It's just period. This season, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. I do. It's interesting. When you look at, I keep going back to this. Cincinnati, top 30 defense in creating havoc, top 25 run defense. They'll step on the field in that game, instantly having made Notre Dame one-dimensional. Jack Cohn hurt his ankle last week in the game against Wisconsin, had to come out. He's going to play, but he's not particularly mobile. He was never really that mobile to begin with, but now he's really not mobile. And as I suspected, he hasn't looked anything like the guy that walked into Tallahassee and lit it up. But
that had to be that good in order for them to win.
Well, and he was. So, you give them a lot of credit. Last week, that is the craziest. I said it yesterday on the show. That is the craziest result to see the fourth quarter play out the way that it did against Wisconsin. What I mean by that is Wisconsin's quarterback's terrible too, and all that. And Notre Dame's defense is solid. But when you see a score like that, you usually assume that they did something productive on offense. They averaged less than 3 yards a carry in the game against Wisconsin. They didn't throw it around the lot either. They ended up getting a bunch of defensive scores against Wisconsin. And so I saw that number and I went, what in the world happened in the fourth quarter? And then I went back. I think they had 50 yards they had like 50 yards in the second half.
Wow.
And they ran away with it.
That's bizarre. Yeah, again, being in the Midwest was kind of weird because that game was a Shamrock Series game that took place in Chicago, which is, geographically speaking, about the midpoint between South Bend and Madison. There were a lot of buses. They're called Wisconsin Coaches Bus, and they're double-decker red buses that we saw on the highway. They were just flooding from Madison down towards Chicago. And I thought, my God, what a bad time these folks are going to have. A lot of people wearing Badger stuff on Saturday out there at the golf course. and there wasn't a word. I was like, man, Notre Dame's got to be winning because I don't see any Irish people here. A lot of Irish folks, but not Notre Dame Fighting Irish fans. And I just see a ton of Badgers, and there is no chirping going on whatsoever.
Well, they got a quarterback issue. They do a lot of things right at Wisconsin. They play real good defense for the most part, and they can stop the run, all that stuff. But damn, man, that quarterback is awful. And, it's, another interesting game, and it's not a Saturday game while we're doing the slate here. Iowa, Maryland, keep your eye on.
That number is strange.
3.5.
Right.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Iowa's offense is putrid. It's hard to watch. And one of the reasons is they're average at quarterback and they don't run the ball. And Iowa can always run the ball. And I watch a lot of Iowa football. I do. My old roommate and dear friend, Florida State grad, Matt Bridden, he's from Iowa, diehard Hawkeye fan. And so I watch him. And, I like their brand of football traditionally because they play very good defense and they're very physical. They're big up front. The NFL steady plucking offensive linemen like we did from them. They usually have great tight end play. But, man, they can't run the ball. And if you're starting to get into Big Ten play and you can't run, that is problematic. Marcus, thank you very much.
That is only for Matthew. That is a Fly Eagles Fly director donation.
Well, you're going to have to donate to the cause because that quarterback play in Philadelphia is shaky too.
Who would have thought?
After week 1, when they all were crowning his ass as the next great quarterback, he's gone back to being what he was.
Who would have thought Jalen Hurts was going to have problems this year as a quarterback?
Yeah. So here we are. That's what that is. That said, that's a sneaky good game, the Iowa-Maryland game. We might have a sneaky good game tonight. Virginia, let's see if Miami wants to show up. I don't know. If they do, they should beat Virginia handily. But we don't know where Miami's head's at. I mean,
maybe
they should. Miami player for player has the much better players, but they may not want to play. So, they're on quit watch all the time.
But we're redefining everything about the ACC all week. Every week. And it's always, everybody goes lower. The rungs just keep going lower and lower. North Carolina was a team that fell down a lot. Miami was a coastal favorite that's fallen apart. The Michigan State resume, that tape right there by itself says, I don't even know what the hell to think about Miami. It's not like Michigan State's a great football team. Virginia, of course, they got into the score fest with North Carolina, but then they lay an egg against Wake. I don't know. They might just all suck like really badly and about on an equal level.
Here's something that's legitimately interesting. And I wonder what Clemson fans are currently thinking, because on the one hand, it's impossible to be upset with Dabo Swinney. You went to 6 straight college football playoffs. What are you going to say about Dabo Swinney? Now, I wonder how many Clemson fans secretly know who Dabo really is in terms of his acumen for the game, right? If they have thought a lot of this is masked by the fact that he has hit home runs in recruiting, which is part of the job of being a coach.
And coordinator hires.
Well, correct. But that's also part of being a great leader.
Yes, it is.
So on the one hand, you look at Dabo and you go, man, that guy figured out just in the nick of time what he couldn't do, which was coach. And so he decided at that point, I better find some people who can coach. And he did. He hit home run after home run after home run. Repeatedly, guys would leave, new guys come in, home runs, right? Tony Elliott, all those guys, right? And then he also got, for a stretch, the best defensive coordinator in the country and paid him handsomely not to leave. Like he was being paid almost like a head coach, Tom. It was remarkable.
It's almost like a please don't leave price tag. Please don't leave.
Yeah. So but you get credit for that. Like where I used to dog you for that, I give you credit for that. Know what you don't know. And find some people who do. And surround yourself with them. Pay him handsomely.
He also knows bronzer. He always shows up to the ACC kickoff freshly bronzed like he's a congressman.
Oh, no, yeah, he's got it all down. But he can recruit, and he can really recruit. And so know what you are. Be great at it. Know what you don't know. Surround people. Put people around you who do know how to do that stuff you don't. And that makes you a great CEO, makes you a great leader. But what you see is if you don't have the number 1 pick in the draft playing quarterback for you, which they have had forever, curious. Things are starting to fall to pieces there. Now, it also would help, certainly, to have an offensive line. And we've dwelled on this. I don't know how you recruit that well at every other position. And then that offensive line is a real travesty. And they're going to get beat up against most teams they play up front. Now, their defense should be dominant every week because they still have All-Americans and NFL talent everywhere on that defense.
But quite a test for culture, right? They're not used to that at Clemson. And if the offense fails you for months on end, how invested will you be week to week about making sure that you come up and fill on 3rd and 2?
Sacrifice.
Make sure somebody else makes the play. It's a decent question to ask.
Oh, yeah. I'll be watching closely. Now, listen, they're big favorites, obviously, over Boston College. But, man, Hafley has turned that culture at Boston College. They play hard for one another. They care deeply. They're winning football games, obviously. He's a testament to what can happen if you have the right pieces and you start to flip and you get guys to buy in. Now, that is the most damning thing that Mike Norvell has to combat, is that Pittman at Arkansas, Mel Tucker at Michigan State, Hafley at Boston College. You're like, well, I mean, those programs were pretty down and out. They've turned it around really quickly. You know, that's and every situation is different. I understand that. But it's interesting to watch that happen. And I don't know that they're going to give, I don't know that they have horses to give Clemson a fight. But, man, everybody, you saw the way that jumped. I think it was 17.5, then it went down to 16.5, then it went 15.5, then down to 14.5. It just kept coming down because people do not believe in that Clemson offense whatsoever. So even a game where you have the horses to just run by BC, they're like, nah, not buying it.
Well, then who knows? Maybe Boston College hangs around the whole game, and then they don't go into prevent at the end of Clemson's defense. And then they fire a shot over the top, and Boston College wins. You never know.
It would be a beautiful thing, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it just be?
These things happen.
I see that kind
I'm
of chaos.
told they happen at times. They do.
Arizona State UCLA is a good late game Saturday night. By the way, that's a really good game.
Okay.
That's a good Pac-12 after dark.
I like
Here
that.
we go. That's like a 10 o'clock kick. Let's go.
I need the after dark game.
Yeah.
Because that post-game show will be done around 8:30. So there we go.
Yeah, but think about it. I mean, that really is a legitimately good game, Arizona State UCLA. A lot of those Pac-12 games are like, that's a good one. And, of course, I'll be watching closely Oregon State and Washington because of my wager for that game. But also, I just like that story. Look at you, Oregon State. Good on you. Good on you.
It's because we sent them Benny.
Benny's back.
Benny's back out there.
He's hanging out.
Maybe he'll he might phone in if they've got a chance at something like a top 25 ranking or something. You never know.
Yeah, it's good old Benny is back amongst his Beaver pals, and they are celebrating a 3-1 start to the season. Oregon State.
I've got the scars on my calves to show for it, though.
It's the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
At midnight last night, minimum wage jumped from $8.65 an hour to $10 an hour, and tipped workers will see hourly wages rise from $5.63 to $6.98. The pay raise is being applauded by labor groups, but business groups fear will add additional strain to employers still recovering from pandemic hardships. The wage hike is the first step of a constitutional mandate to raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2026. The first jump will be the largest the state has ever seen, and that has business groups worried jobs could be on the line. The Quincy Police Department says they have made an arrest in connection to the July shooting of 2 children at the Gadsden Arms Apartments. QPD says 18-year-old Jaquan Williams was arrested on warrants stemming from the incident. Williams is charged with the improper exhibition of a firearm and criminal culpable negligence. Williams has already been bonded out of jail. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. More clouds than sun this afternoon with highs around 89. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Lows level off around 70. Daytime highs approaching 89 tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Upper 80s Saturday and Sunday with a chance for scattered storms Sunday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 87.
Where is the best place to find Michelin, Firestone, Dunlop, Goodyear, and Bridgestone tires? Nice Tire and Auto Service. Where's the best full-service auto center? Nice Tire and Auto Service. They do everything from computerized alignments to brakes, tune-ups, and safety inspections. Where can you get complete auto service you can trust? That's easy. Nice Tire and Auto Service. 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
We all want More energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Greg Tish.
Matt, you know what we're celebrating Friday morning on the Greg Tish Show?
Taco Tuesday.
No, we're celebrating my 3rd anniversary here at Real Talk 93.3, and we're going to be giving away some awards.
Really?
Some Greggy awards.
The Greggies.
The Greggies tomorrow, 6 a.m. on the Greg Tish. Are you playing me off?
We only have a certain amount of time.
All right, 6 a.m., the Greg Tish Show, 3rd anniversary show, Friday morning.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Well, let's get to Florida State here. I haven't said much about them so far. This is a interest. I think I'm being careful and sort of tiptoeing around the topic because this matchup plays well for Florida State. Now, Florida State's not good, and I hate having to preface all of my Florida State takes with letting everybody understand that I'm a realist and I know they're not good. So we get it out of the way. But I don't think Syracuse is good. I think Syracuse has played better than we thought they would. They were fortunate to get out of the Liberty game with a win. Liberty turned it over late. They were able to kick the field goal. Good for them. Good for them. They are better than we thought they'd be. Hell, I thought they could lose to Ohio at the beginning of the year. But a couple wins of their 3 are against Albany and Ohio. So, I mean, what are you going to do? And they got beat by Rutgers. They want to run the ball. The kid they put in at quarterback is a 6'4" running back. I mean, he's not much of a thrower of the football. And they do run him. They'll run some speed option. I know you know this, Tom. They do. They work in ways for him to carry the ball. And they do have a very good running back. So the Tucker kid, right?
Yeah, Sean Tucker.
Yeah, he's a good player. So they run the ball. They're very physical, and I give them an awful lot of credit for that. But I think that's the one thing Florida State is physical up front and able to stop the run. When they're engaged and the offense isn't putting them in terrible positions and they're not out on the field forever because of 6 turnovers like against Wake, they can stop the run. And this is not a guy. Listen, all I'll say about this game is it will be a hell of an indictment on Adam Fuller if this Syracuse team, which has shown no evidence of being able to throw it around the lot, if they are to come into Tallahassee, Florida, and start throwing the football successfully, that's it. That's all. I mean, at that point, we may have some real problems we already have real problems, but that might be the final straw for a lot of people.
Yeah. So I watched last night into this morning, the full Liberty game, Syracuse Liberty, and then the full Rutgers Syracuse game. And they were both so bad.
Oh,
those games were so terrible.
Yes.
I still think if you look at those 2 quarterbacks, and I don't know if DeVito did something to get into the doghouse because his numbers aren't awful. They want to run the ball like 2 or 3 to 1 in terms of run-pass ratio.
Yes, they do.
But DeVito, I think, would be the better matchup against our secondary this week. He's not totally immobile. He's not as mobile as Garrett Schrader is. But, I mean, you're right. They scheme some things up that will be open down the field, but Schrader hasn't proven that he can hit those open throws down the field just yet. He has 10 throws, 20 yards or more down the field. He's 0 for 10 with a pick.
No, he's looked terrible. I mean, when I watched, he's very limited.
Which means they're going to hit a shot on their first drive, and he's going to hit 140 yards down the field, and it'll be 7-0 or 7-7 or something along those lines. But yeah, he's a guy who does a lot of double pump before he throws the football, which is just asking to be picked off. Remember, Sean McGuire used to do that all the time, drove you nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a dude that has comfort level on little short comeback routes, things between maybe 8 to 15 yards, but not much more. So you can kind of key downhill and cheat against the run until they prove that they can throw it over your heads without a coverage bust, albeit. Let's not bust coverage here. You're right. This is a matchup that you would think the defense could feast on, but man.
Tom, Florida State, I'm just going to
know.
say it. Florida State, well, first of all, Florida State's a favorite for a reason. They should win the game. I mean, you don't have to tiptoe around this. They should win the game. Better personnel. The styles make fights. This. If I'm a Syracuse fan, I'm looking at Florida State, ironically, at 0-4, and I'm going, they're all wrong for us, baby. I'm not liking the matchup because they want to run the ball and they want to run kind of traditionally. They're not doing anything.
No, it's
that.
inside zone, outside zone. Now, the kid's got real good vision.
No, he can
Tucker
play.
does.
Tucker can play. If you don't tackle him, he's going to go. He can really run. But damn it. They're nothing special out on the edges. They're not special at quarterback. Tucker's a good player. They got a decent offensive line. Not great. Decent.
They've got one burner as a receiver.
That's right. Yeah. And then you look at the other side of it. And I mean, Florida State's probably going to struggle to move the ball because they just do. Again, this all comes down to the health of the starting five up front. We'll see how healthy they are. We'll see whether or not they get both guys back fully healthy. I mean, if they don't, then this is just going to continue to be a nightmare. They really can't keep people out of the backfield. Florida State has given up 33 tackles for loss on the year. That is 118th in the country. So if you want to, again, note just how bad this group is, there you go. So you almost see this stymied, sort of ugly football game on Saturday playing out. But if you don't do stupid things like turn it over, and if you don't give up a gazillion hidden yards because you're 35 yards from the line of scrimmage on a punt and you're allowed to go 70, then, yeah, man, you can flip field position, you can wear them down, you can win this game. And they should win this game.
Yeah, the things I saw from Syracuse offensively, a lot of similarities between what they do and what we do with pre-snap motion, eye candy, RPOs, all kinds of stuff, read options. All those little things look very similar pre-snap to what we do. And formationally, they look pretty similar as well. They do a little bit more out of the pistol than we do. And certainly their quarterback can run and ours can't unless Jordan Travis plays. And I know he was healthy at practice yesterday, looking okay from the observable portion of practice. But I would think both of these defenses will they went against these offenses. Excuse me, I had like a Mike Norvell kind of moment there in camp. This is very familiar. These offenses are very familiar to the defenses. So that's why I think you're right. This game's going to live in the 20s unless there's some kind of weird turnover, a flurry of them.
Well, I would suspect, and if you read more on those that cover Syracuse, like if you go to their version of Warchant and you read their guys, and he's been often I would suspect he can pull pretty early if he was not next on these open passes that linebackers go up into the field. If accurate, then what amounts to pitch, because every team that's played us has pitch and catch in this game. It's like linebackers in coverage. We heard about this preseason. It was my biggest problem. These linebackers can't cover you. Not going to be a problem because, listen, offensive coordinators, they watch the film and they go, that guy can't cover that guy. This guy can't cover a tight end. We've got this matchup whenever we want it. Force him out of this. Let's take advantage of it while we can and see what they do to adapt, and then we'll hurt him elsewhere. So I would guess that if Schrader can't hit those throws early, they have a guy standing on the sideline who can. They'll probably go to him right away. I mean, I'd say inside of 3 drives.
Yeah, again, that's why I think just watching that broadcast for the Liberty game, the announcers were somewhat surprised that DeVito was done, and the terminology I saw. I looked back on Twitter to see what the reporters said, and they said benched. I was like, ooh, okay. So you're going to use that term. Benched. It's not like DeVito's numbers were bad. You just look earlier in the season, even when he's the quarterback, he's throwing it maybe 19 times a game, and they're running it 40 times. But you're right. Schrader can hit those intermediate throws, but if he shows that the road environment, I don't know what it is, just an overall lack of ability, that he can't be consistent, he's only looking at half of the field. DeVito is the worst matchup for us. But again, I think if you look at what we want to do offensively, I'll flip it real quick. I don't know that we want to run a whole lot of stretch and outside zone stuff. I don't know that the pin and pull can get there in time. I think this is more of an inside zone type game for us because they lay back. They're able to shoot gaps, and that's what I'm afraid of, and that's what's going to keep our score down. It's not just the fact that, our offensive line is subpar. It's that the way they line up, the way they make you make decisions on who to block, they confuse the hell out of the front five, and we get confused on our own.
Yeah, and
you
I
don't
like
need to throw us anything crazy, but we get confused on our own. That's where I think you might want to hit them right up the gut rather than try and do these extra stretches and out wide plays.
I think they will, but I'll also note that Syracuse likes to bring pressure, which I think is a mistake. I would not bring pressure against Florida State because I don't think you have to. You can cover them in man, and you can let your guys up front just beat them one-on-one. When you hit McKenzie Milton up, I actually think he's better in terms of decision-making because of his pre-snap. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Hey, guys, it's Greg Tish. It's summertime. It's grilling time. But with a grill that just won't light, you're just going to end up with the summertime blues. Yeah, blues and barbecue go hand in hand, but if you get a custom outdoor kitchen built from Hearth and Patio, you'll feel like a rock star every time those flames kick on. They also sell a full line of incredible high-end grills like Fire Magic, Blaze, and Broil Master, all designed to deliver the ultimate in beauty, performance, and durability. Everything you need to elevate your grilling experience can be found at Hearth and Patio. In fact, anything related to fire can be found at Hearth and Patio. Fire pits, gas lighting, indoor and outdoor fireplaces, wood stoves, and even custom-built pizza ovens. Go see for yourself. Check out their services and products online at hearthpatiotallahassee.com. That's hearthpatiotallahassee.com. Or give them a call, 850-727-4282. That's 850-727-4282. At Hearth and Patio, they keep the home fires burning.
Hey Tallahassee, this is Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. There's so much more to auto glass than most people know. With the technology these days, lane departure, keep assist, forward collision, that camera is attached to your windshield. When the windshield gets replaced, it needs to be reset, and that's called recalibration. And Seminole Auto Glass was the first to offer it here. We offer drop-off service or mobile service if available.
Don't forget about customer service.
Oh yeah, we have the best customer service in town, and a $50 gift card with your windshield through insurance. We're more than just a glass company. We are your local auto glass experts. Better call Seminole.
Hi, this is Justin Colvin, founder of the Medicare Help Desk. I routinely speak to seniors who are overwhelmed by the multitude of coverage options available to them. That's why I created the Medicare Help Desk radio show. Tune in every Sunday at 11:30 a.m., where I provide clear answers to all your questions about Medicare.
While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
It's pool season, and the huge pool at Killearn Country Club is ready for you. Pool memberships are just $5.99 for the season through September, and come with poolside service and unlimited access to the 19th hole. Live the Country Club life without the Country Club price. And don't miss the weekly themed Thursday night dinners featuring exquisitely prepared meals paired with the best wines. Stay up to date with all the events and club deals at KillearnCC.com. That's KillearnCC.com.
If you weren't the
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. The horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
All figured out now, should be good to go there. So again, appreciate that on Warchant TV, but we're good. Yeah, somebody duly noted here that Alabama first quarter. Yeah, Tom, I've been on it, buddy. Thank you. You're right. Listen, Alabama first quarter and Alabama first halves are pretty much you're swimming in money most years. It's just, what are you gonna do? Someone sent me a meme that said FSU tickets going for so cheap you can stand by the coach and call 2 plays for $60. Man, we got to win Saturday. Go Noles. That's from Old Cod Willie.
That's a great name.
Mm-hmm. Listen, they do need to. It's funny. Somebody said, it won't matter. It doesn't matter if Florida State wins Saturday. He sure does. Yeah, it does. You can't just keep losing forever in perpetuity. You got to win a game every now and again. I mean, we talk about their ability to hold this class together. One of the ways that it's going to happen is a win here and there. I mean, I'm not saying that you got to go win 5 games or 6 games because they're not equipped to do so. It doesn't look like. But if you lose them all, I think you would be in real danger of losing the significant players to this recruiting class. I mean, I don't know too many people that are real excited to remain committed to an over team.
Do you expect them, defensively speaking, to come out and play well in the first half? I'm saying
it's the
expect.
No, I
That's the indictment on Fuller then, isn't it?
Well, here, okay. I say that as a jaded, broken man. So if I were solely going to be, objective by what I saw the last 2.5 quarters, I'd have to believe that they'll come out and play with confidence. A big part of what's going on there defensively does center around not playing fast for quite a long period of time. Not believing what you're seeing. That gets back to confidence. And they played loose, and they played with speed, and they played with anger, and they played with leverage, and they played with technique. They played as good a defense for 2 quarters as we've seen them play in a long time. How much of it was, obviously, Louisville gets out to a massive lead, kind of checks out mentally, then tries to restart the engine and can't get it going again. Florida State's starting to believe now all of a sudden you've let this team back into the game. They're playing fast. You can't you can't kickstart the engine, and all of a sudden you're struggling. I don't know. I mean, I did watch a lot of what they were trying to do. It wasn't solely them saying, okay, let's take the foot off the gas. It was that we lined up and hit people, and we were gap sound. We were fundamental. We did a lot of things well. Again, on those plays outside the tackles, that is as good as we've played it. Our run fits were there. I mean, the evidence says they should show up on Saturday in the first quarter. It's the most interested I'm going to be in a first quarter in forever, because already knowing that we're coming from a place where the season is hopeless based on what you would wanted to see. I mean, the idea of 6-6 now is absurd, right? But you have these games and you got to make something of them, and you've got to show signs. I keep talking about it. I'm going to be blue in the face. Traction. Did we see traction last week? Does it continue over to the first quarter of this week? I'm not saying you gotta pitch a shutout in the first quarter. I'm saying you got to play well. I got to see that you're playing fast, playing smart, playing well.
Yeah, that's the thing. You go look at the Notre Dame game and you say, all right, this is the improvement we've been looking for. This is the extension of what we saw in camp. This is what we expected to see, and we saw it. A team that competes. It's got fire in its belly. You see swarming to the football as a defense, and then they followed it up with a lackluster effort as a group. Less than inspired. I think they were failed by the coaches more than anything in that Jacksonville State game.
Sure,
but still
we treated it as a scrimmage.
Nonetheless, the front four showed up, but other than that, you're thinking, man, all right, we're getting through this. We're getting through this game. Next thing you know, you lose the game. And, weeks later, here we are. I'm not going to bank on the transition from one week to the next, because the last time I felt this way was Monday after Notre Dame, and we didn't see it translate. So you got to show me. You got to show it. And they got to show it to themselves, too. More importantly, because if they do, then you've got a team that, okay, they're not pounding their chest on the flight up to Chapel Hill to play North Carolina.
No, but yeah.
But they believe in a little something. They have a little something to hold on to.
Well, listen, the bottom line is this. If you get a win, first of all, you get the monkey off your back. Okay, now you've got to win. You're not just constantly talking about trying to get a win. You got to win. Okay, so you got to win. If that happens. In addition to that, it would mean, I think, unless this is a shootout, you might have a case where you play 6 quarters of good defense. Okay, now we've got something.
Been a minute since we've done that.
Well, right? Hour number 2, fourth coverage. Stay with.
Talk 93.3 wants you to win $1,000.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
It's time to win some cash. And here's this hour's keyword.
Earn. EARN. Earn.
Click on the Real Talk Money Megaphone at realtalk93.com to enter the keyword for your chance to win $1,000 in this nationwide contest. Money talks. Everything else can take a walk.
Money, I just can't get enough.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Two moderate Democratic senators still holding a passage of President Biden's economic agenda.
Congressional Republicans are squarely against the president's plan to spend $3.5 trillion to expand government health care, education, and other programs. But it's Democratic Senators Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Arizona's Kyrsten Sinema who say the price tag is too high. They are publicly quiet about a number they can live with, and they've been talking to the White House about trimming the size of the bill. Greg Clugston, Washington.
West Virginia's Manchin reportedly wants a $1.5 trillion plan, $2 trillion less than the Biden package. Also at townhall.com, a 13-year-old boy shot and wounded at a school in Memphis, Tennessee. The shooting reported this morning at Cummings School, which includes grades kindergarten through 8th. The victim in critical condition. A suspect described as a male juvenile has been detained. On the international front, correspondent Zara Shockley reports North Korean leader Kim Jong-un wants to restore cross-border hotlines between North and South Korea.
Kim still accuses South Korea of being bent on begging external support and cooperation rather than committing to resolving Korean matters independently between themselves. Some experts say North Korea is pressuring South Korea to tone down its criticism of its ballistic missile tests, which are banned by UN Security Council resolutions.
The Commerce Department says the U.S. economy expanded at a 6.7 annual pace from April through June, a slight upgrade from the previous estimate. It will likely mark a high point for the economy's expansion this year as the coronavirus slows some activity. On Wall Street now, stocks have turned mixed. The Dow down 370 points, but the NASDAQ is up 13. More at townhall.com.
President Biden has declared war on the small business owners of America. In his first 100 days, he's pushed for a massive tax increase on small businesses. And his $2 trillion infrastructure plan is a $2 trillion tax hike on American employers. He also wants to make it harder for small business owners to keep their doors open by pushing a $15 minimum wage. And his Green New Deal will drive up energy prices on small business owners. One group is working hard to fight these attacks, the great folks at Job Creators Network. And they're looking for a few good men and women to join their small business advocacy and advisor program. They'll train you up, help you with op-eds in your local papers, and TV appearances on your local news stations. In short, their Cracker Jack team will prepare you to be a leader and a fighter for small businesses in your community, your state, and the country you love. If you own a business and want to join the fight, go to joinjcn.com now to learn more. They're looking for a few good men and women to join their growing army of small business leaders and advocates. Go to joinjcn.com now. They need you. America needs you.
Welcome to Tallulah Talk After Hours, your home for all things CBD. Tonight, we're talking about the benefits of CBD personal lubricants, CBD massage oils, romantic CBD scented candles, chocolates, and even CBD bath bombs. Did you know CBD lubricants can lead to increased sensitivity, resulting in longer and stronger experiences? What's left to talk about? Get yours today at Tallulah CBD on Market Street and now open in Betterman Crossings. Thanks for listening to Tallulah Talk After Hours.
Warchant.com is the ultimate inside source for FSU football and recruiting. Get in on the action for free for an entire month. Warchant.com is offering a risk-free 30-day trial subscription just by entering the promo code WARCHANT30. That's WARCHANT30. Get in on the world's most active FSU message boards. Receive breaking news, stories from our award-winning staff, plus get exclusive interviews and videos. Just enter the promo code WARCHANT30. Warchant.com, your ultimate Seminole sports source.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Pass it around, as Florida State fans everywhere need to know about the Jeff Cameron Show and when it's on and all that good stuff. So you liking and sharing helps us out immensely. All right, here we go. Wagers. Yes, if you missed the first hour, you'll have fun with this. Get ready for, if you're watching on Warchant TV, you're going to laugh because we've got we've made additions. All right, we've made additions. Here we go. NFL 3-team 6-point teaser to start the day. We go right after it. We find out something tonight. Teased it down. Packers minus a half point. Saints minus a 1.5. Cincinnati minus 1.5. Those three all have to cover for that teaser to come on through. And I talked about, for those that don't understand teasers, you get 6 points to play with. You want to tease down or up through critical numbers. Those critical numbers are 3 and 7 in NFL games. So you don't have to do a 3-team teaser. Pays more. You can do a 2-team teaser. I was going to tease. I was very tempted, Tom, and I'll do it for giggles, throw some pizza money at it at some point. I was going to try like 3-team teasers or 1 4-team teaser. I just go crazy.
3-team teasers in one weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, sir.
There's a lot to – now, not every weekend lends itself to this. A lot of times the numbers aren't where you need them to be. But this weekend –
just make it a 9-team teaser.
Hey, that would really pay. This is at plus 160. So, you put 50 down and there you go. if you want. Well, I'm just using a number.
Oh, yeah. There he is. Eugene Levy is concerned for you. He's calling to get you help.
I'm saying I'm just throwing a little, that's a lot of pizza, but just a little bit of pizza money there. Just a little something. You throw it at it. See what happens. Have a little fun with it. All right. If you can't control yourself, kids, don't gamble. I'll just get that out of the way. If you can't go a weekend without doing it, then you don't need to do it. Like, I can go week. If I don't like a card, I won't put anything on there. I'll do this for Redemption Thursday because it's for charity. But there have been weekends where I'm like, I don't like any game. Doesn't happen often, Tom. Doesn't happen often. Because college football has a lot of games.
I don't know of one.
Yeah, no, it's happened. It's happened. College football has a lot of games. It's going to be hard not to find a game you like. Geez. But there have been plenty of weekends where the NFL wasn't my cup of tea. But these teasers make it more interesting. You can find games.
Western Utah, North Idaho, man. I've got an angle on this one.
We'll start from the bottom up. Troy plus 7 against South Carolina. All right, come on, Troy. Give me UTEP minus 5.5 against downtrodden Old Dominion.
I can feel it all the way down to my plums.
Oregon State minus 2.5 against hapless Washington in that offense. Come on, Beavers. Give me Nebraska minus 12 against Northwestern. That is not a good-looking Northwestern team. No, not at all. Army rolls big, runs rough shot over Ball State. Give the 7.5. Give me Minnesota plus 2.5. Come on, row the boat. Wake up. On the road against Purdue. Charlotte plus 10.5 against Illinois. Yeah, that's couldn't get that one past you. Wake minus 6.5 against Louisville. And finally, Utah State plus 8.5 over BYU. Also the over 61. You could have actually just gone.
Yeah, probably. I just didn't want the folks at Tallahassee to think that there's actually some sort
of real emergency.
There's a missile test going on.
Okay, so judging by the tweets and the chats and the emails and the general conversation centered around this Florida State football program, it was a very interesting week for an 0-4 team. Interesting in that they actually made national news for a relatively decent reason. And, of course, it's kind of interesting to note. Tom, I'll get to you in a minute. I think it's imperative that they win this game, Tom. The more we talk about it, you really need to win this game. The matchup suits you. There aren't too many games I can say that about. And you just had Norvell's speech go viral. You've had recruits steady come out in support of what's being built here. This is not a good team. Your favorite at home.
Slowly being built.
Yeah.
Slowly.
It's a total rebuild, Tom. So it's taking time.
We're still in the demo phase.
So you need to start to see, like, maybe they're, I don't know, maybe you're bringing the carpet in. Like, maybe we're starting.
Oh, I don't know.
No, that's too soon.
Has the foundation been laid?
Insulation. Maybe we're bringing in.
Oh, well, you got to have walls to have insulation.
I think I think they've built I think we're putting the guts in this thing now.
Okay.
Yeah, putting the guts in.
So the skeleton has already been built.
Yeah, skeleton's there. Now we gotta infuse it with some life.
Boy,
gotta make it a home, Tom. Gotta make it a home. This house ain't a home yet.
I thought 2x4s and all were still being, erected.
No. This house has to become a home. Now is the time. We'll bring in some pictures of our loved ones. Start setting up the furniture.
I don't know, man. Maybe we move it into an apartment that's a little ratty, and you just want to hang a picture over the bloodstain on the wall. I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. It's dicey. I don't know where we're at in terms of the build. Whether Tom's right or I'm right, whatever it might be. The bottom line is, at some point, to take the step forward, you're gonna have to register a single victory, maybe two. You're gonna have to get one. Old Cod Willie's back. It ain't got no sheetrock. Yeah, I know nothing about houses. I know what sheetrock is, but I don't know anything really about a house other than, I own one, you own one, but neither one of us know anything about houses.
We're beautifying the long-term stay hotel room. That's what we're doing while the house is being worked on. We had to be it's not even the Residence Inn. Like, it's just one of those other places where you're like, all right, that's a good monthly rate. We're just going to have to eat it. I hear things crawling around at night, but I don't want to turn the light on. We're just going to leave the light off.
People want to know if Jordan Travis is healthy. He was back in practice this week, and I don't know if he's a full go, but Mackenzie Milton's starting either way. And I think they've kind of settled in on that right now.
I hope that they've settled in on something. Because
I think they had a game plan last week.
They did, but what I'm saying is now that Jordan is available for this game, let's not do all right, we're going to alternate drives and see who's got the hot hand thing again. Can we not do that again? Please?
No, I don't think they're going to do that.
Begging you.
I don't think they're going to do that. Let's hope not. It's interesting when you watch these press conferences, when you get the Q&A with the coordinators, something really stands out to me, and he'll take offense to this, I'm sure. But just, it feels to me like Mike does a really good job of messaging. His messaging is very consistent, and it's passed down to his coordinators, and the players have remained bought in because of that. I think they see that players can tell when it's a pitch as opposed to something you truly believe in. If you live your life that way, do you live it? Do you show up every day and do the things that you're telling them to do? And I think that is really one of his strengths. He's got weaknesses, but that's a strength, that they are buttoned up messaging. He knows what he wants to do. May work, may not. Jury's still out, but he is very, very consistent. But Dillingham is immature, and you can hear it in his Q&As. It comes out. You can tell he reads and listens to everything because he references it. He'll say things like, I don't think getting out on the field 10 minutes earlier makes any difference. Well, that's directly at taking a shot at I, right? He doesn't like that was written about, which means he's reading it. Stop doing that, Kenny. You're showing your immaturity. Leave it alone, man. Here's the deal. Two things you do. That, which means you are sensitive, and during a rebuild, you can't afford to be. B, stop referencing what you did 8 years ago. Nobody cares what you did at either Memphis or Arizona State. Nobody. Those programs don't belong in the same sentence as Florida State. And our fan base knows that. Don't do that. Oh, it worked 7 years ago when we didn't. No, nobody cares. Don't do that. So just interesting to watch as the season goes along what changes. Mike won't change. He'll be the same. He is Mr. Consistent. I love the fact that his messaging is the same all the time. Love it. We'll see if the other guys, when they talk, how that proceeds in the midst of a really tough season. Just a side note. I fear what it will sound like if they lose this game.
Oh, well, I'll just say that Captain Obvious speaking, but you win a football game, those press conferences get easier. It's just, makes it a lot easier on you on a Monday if you won the football game on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
We're over 4. So they're never going to be easy.
No. I think if you're stuck when you have the personnel that we do, there are going to be limitations on what you can call, limitations on what you can do. And there'll be some things that will always anger us when we watch this team play based on some things that they simply cannot call their way out of. Either you can block somebody or you can't. You can get open in a one-on-one situation or you can't.
So is it worth revisiting real quick, just the 2 quarterback system? I find this interesting because we thought heading into the season, well, let's put it back to Charlotte, ACC kickoff. it seemed like there was almost an acquiescence on the part of Jordan Travis, the way he was answering questions and the way that McKenzie was answering questions, that McKenzie was by far going to be the lead guy. Then you get into camp and you saw what we saw and you think, oh boy, first of all, availability is a question. You could have, load management days, whatever. But then also you've got to be able to perform in camp. Jordan has been the better player. In a lot of our opinions, most everybody's opinion, Jordan was the better player.
Oh, in camp.
In camp. So now everything's flipped on its head. After spring, you're like, McKenzie had a nice final week and a really good spring game where he showed flashes. In the summer, it seemed like something changed because of the way they talked about themselves and each other in Charlotte. Then in fall camp, you're thinking, oh, is this thing flipped again? Then you get into the season, and it seems like they didn't know either. Like, nobody knew. And when we were talking about the 2-quarterback system early on, we thought, all right, you might sprinkle somebody in to be a change of pace player, but you're not going to outright alternate quarterbacks. And they did that until Jordan wasn't available. I don't know that this thing was managed all that well, would be my overriding point. It reeks of so many other 2-quarterback problems that other programs have where we thought, looks like these guys are going to be able to manage it.
If you have two, you have none.
And right. It ended up turning into that thing rather than, all right, here's your change of pace guy, but your bona fide player is that. Could it be that this is the weekend where you have McKenzie as your primary and then Jordan comes in as a spell, not an outright alternating back and forth deal, which just makes no sense.
Let me tell you the only time it makes sense is, and there's somebody asked this question about McKenzie Milton in the pocket. I believe it was Gage. Okay. He doesn't trip over himself. His foot stops working. He's got numbness in his foot. This is a result of the catastrophic leg and foot injury that he had. Okay, the leg injury. They nearly had to amputate the leg. We all know that story. It's been told too many times. It's a great story, but, because we cover the Noles, we hear it incessantly. And, it's just a little bit like, again, Nick O'Leary being Jack's grandson. Got it. Okay. Different range of emotions and all that. I understand. But we said they would need both quarterbacks, partly because this offensive line's not good, which means we were hinting at the fact that they were going to get hit. They were going to get hit, right? And so there's a chance one was going to get hurt or temporarily hurt and have to come out of the game. So you need the other one. So you would always need two. But there seems to be moments in games where McKenzie could use some time. I don't know if that's to massage that foot or to generate some sort of blood flow or whatever it might be, but he legitimately seems to have a difficult time when we get to a certain number of snaps. I don't think it's a magic number. It's not like a pitcher where he gets the 100 pitches that year where Pedro, like any pitch over 100 was destined to be clobbered, right? Right. And yet they left him in the most important game, right? So I don't know what the magic number is, but it does sometimes look like McKenzie, the foot just doesn't work. He tries to run and he falls down for no reason. That's not scared. That's a physical ailment. And it might be in those moments where if he can't feel it and they've got to generate some, blood flow or something, we saw them over there massaging that before, then you would have to throw Jordan in and see how it goes. I mean, that to me is something that.
Well, then that's a straight starter backup situation. It's not even that Jordan's going to be in there as a change of pace player.
Right.
He's just
I'm just
all
saying
hands
that's
on deck.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's why you would need two. And
Yeah.
I think they have settled on McKenzie, but I think that they're going to still need Jordan for a lot of reasons. One of which is that there are physical problems.
Well, and that's why we talked about if you were Chuba and Tate, that you better assert yourself as the three, whoever it was. And now it's Chuba, obviously, because he made the depth chart this week. And we kind of knew that anyway, because these guys, there is a tendency, it's not their fault, but there's a tendency for them not to be available. So you better be ready. But the problem I thought with how it was managed is it seemed like we were almost installing two things. That's the way it appeared anyway. I don't know if that's how it looked in practice, but it almost seemed like we were installing two different things. And so when you're trying to play receiver or you're trying to block or you're trying to play tight end, there's almost too much in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, how is that possible? If we can't do the simple things, how is it that too many things are in your brain? Now that you have this potential predicament again, where both are available on a given weekend, my fear is just let's not see that once more. That would be nice.
I don't think we will, Tom.
It was unfathomable at Wake, though, wasn't it? You're like, there's no way that they're going to do that. McKenzie, they took the oar. They took the oar out of the depth chart.
The biggest the biggest look. He hurt himself in the eyes of fans by looking. I talked about the scattershot nature of what they were doing, right? Now, that wasn't born out of stupidity. That wasn't born because he doesn't know what he's doing. It was born out of desperation. It's not a good look. Even if you legitimately are desperate, it's not a good look to reveal that through your personnel decisions. But I think that happened. I think there was real desperation. Like, oh, man, we can't run this, can't run that. This guy can't get the ball down the field. This other guy doesn't throw it very accurately and has happy feet in the pocket. Neither seem to sustain good play for long periods of time. The line can't block. Our receivers don't win one-on-one matchups. I mean, Kenny rightfully noted that he gave them a lot of one-on-one, schemed up a lot of one-on-one scenarios, and they lost the one-on-ones. Well, if you're an offensive coordinator and you have a receiver at Florida State that doesn't win one-on-ones, and you've schemed it to where he's in a one-on-one situation, you have real problems.
This would be my concern about Syracuse and what they bring to the table defensively. If you watch that Liberty game, don't go ahead and do it. Save yourself the time. I sped through it. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched enough to know what they're doing. The big plays down the field for their quarterback, who, by the way, is apparently Kuiper and McShay's number 3 NFL prospect, Liberty's quarterback. He's got a cannon for an arm, but the best plays they had were shots outside the numbers down the field that are low percentage plays and, frankly, really good catches by the receivers. Mm-hmm. There was one touchdown on a bust up the left number, outside the numbers to the left, but a lot of their movement was not dink and dunk over the middle of the field. Like, they didn't even use the middle of the field, Liberty. Rutgers didn't either. So I'm wondering, is it just that Syracuse is that good at linebacker? These offenses they're facing are so limited. That's why it's hard for me to know precisely what Syracuse is in so many ways, because when you're facing the likes of Albany and Rutgers and Liberty,
lost to Rutgers.
Right? Yeah, 17-7 they lost to Rutgers. When you're playing all these teams, like, I'm not so sure what I'm looking at. It's probably like when, I don't know, a team out of the SEC or the Big Ten has to play a low-level ACC team, like Michigan State. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. Miami played Alabama, and they played nobody. It's hard to know what Syracuse is defensively. So other than I think there are going to be some runs up the middle for our two horses that should be featured either through RPOs or whatever, I'm not so sure what the quarterbacks can attack and what they can actually be successful in doing this weekend, which, again, is why this is probably a low-scoring game and kind of an ugly one.
Feels that way. Well, what we can and can't do a lot of times is solely dictated by personnel. And, if Robert Scott isn't healthy and he's out there, at 75%, Maurice Smith doesn't play. If he doesn't,
I hope he's not at 75%. Robert Scott right now.
Well, he's getting.
I hope he's at 30%.
I mean,
20%.
Yeah. He's getting whooped one-on-one. He doesn't get helped out either when they bring in Jordan Wilson to be an extra blocker.
No, putting those two next. No, that doesn't do much for you.
That's a crime. I mean, watching those two, it's a toughie.
It's a green light special for the defense.
But Robert's a lot better when he's healthy and than anybody else you got playing the position. And then Maurice hasn't been out there, and they got to get him back. I mean, they got to get him back. You got to have your best 5. They're not good to begin with, but if you don't have your best 5, you take a precipitous drop-off, a dive. And then so what you call and how you call it and what you can get away with and all that, man, that's all. A lot of that's personnel. A lot of that's whether or not you're healthy up front. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio.
Conferences to call away. 222-7722. Heating and cooling is the job we do. Systems, service, installation too. 222-7722. Parker Services. Conferences to call away.
Hey, it's Jeremy with Parker Services, here to tell you about Remy Halo Whole Home Air Purification, which works with your existing HVAC system to reduce bacteria, viruses, mold, odors, and allergens in every cubic inch of air-conditioned space in your home. Call to learn more about how this technology can improve your indoor air quality. And hey, if you know your AC has seen better days and it's time to upgrade, we're including a Remy Halo with every new installation through the end of the month. Give us a call or find us online at TallahasseeAC.com.
Parker Services, conferences to call away.
Florida license number CMC 050334.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state government, including public health and emergency response agencies, our friends at ISF recognize September as National Preparedness Month and want to help you be safe this hurricane season. Visit ISF.com to learn more and download your emergency preparedness plan today. ISF, solving the future.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family. The Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Getting your roof inspected can save you thousands of dollars in the event of a major storm. Not to mention the peace of mind knowing that you and your family are protected. At Parker Brothers Roofing, we make it easy with free estimates, affordable financing, and professional installation every time since 1995. Call 656-8112 or visit parkerbrothersroofing.net today.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. At Kraft Nissan, we've been amazed at the number of Toyota and Honda people trading up to Nissan's new family of SUVs. The changes are stunning. And don't just take my word for it. Motor Trend tagged Rogue as the 2021 SUV of the Year finalist, adding that Rogue can go toe-to-toe with Honda and Toyota. Well, guess what, Tallahassee? We can't keep the new Rogues on the showroom floor. Seriously, if you haven't seen one for yourself, come take a test drive and you'll see the new Rogue sells itself. In the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder, it's roomier, quicker, and better equipped. Plus, the second row seats easily slide and flip forward to allow access to the third row, even with a child seat installed. And finally, Car and Driver says savvy shoppers will be surprised by the new Armada's luxuriousness. So I encourage SUV lovers to come see the new Nissan family of SUVs. Everyone knows that Nissan SUVs have more standard equipment than the competition. The award-winning Rogue, Pathfinder, and Armada, only at Kraft Nissan, Mahan Drive, Tallahassee.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside.
You go ahead and bracket him because they don't have anybody else. I was just during the break. I'm looking at some more Syracuse numbers and just going back and looking at some of their games. That passing attack is not good. He has by far and away the most targets on the team, 22. He's got the most receptions on the team, which is 15. They have been really bad for the most part. I'm curious to see, Syracuse is going to try to, without question, lean on Tucker to win this game. And the best part about Saturday's game for you as a fan, all of us, I mean, just if you're watching as a fan, you're going to know inside of 2 drives whether or not we have to come out of what we're trying to do and they have to come out of what they're trying to do. Or if both can stay the course. If both stay the course because they don't feel like they have alternatives, then both these defenses have a chance to be stifling. Because I don't think Syracuse's offensive line can block Florida State's defensive line. And I'm pretty sure that Florida State's offensive line can't consistently block any defensive line. That includes Jacksonville State. So I don't know, man. I mean, I guess pound the under if these two teams are hell-bent on the one thing that they think they can do because they fear what they can't in the passing game.
Yeah, it's still a low number, though. Is it 51 as of yesterday?
It's hard to – in the modern game being built around even poor offenses being able to put up 21 points, it's hard to pound unders that low. You know what I mean? It's just – it really is. It's the game is built for offenses to move the ball, even pedestrian.
Oh, sure. And we know how the ACC can get involved with extra flags for pass interference that aren't there, or ghost penalties for the hit out of bounds or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I'd say about Syracuse and their passing offense is they do scheme things open down the field. It's not that they don't have guys open. It's just that their quarterbacks haven't consistently been able to hit the receivers. And I think that's a combination of things. Number one, the film says they can't, so dare them to, at the risk of maybe giving up a touchdown. But then, number two, it's just, this is a situation where you got two bad football teams playing against each other, man. So you might see some weird stuff.
Got a chance to see, more than anything else, I hope, real carryover from the second half of the game. And if we don't get it, then we know it was a mirage. We know it doesn't really follow a path that is born out of confidence. It's just it's a heat of the moment sort of thing where they either play well and begin to play better as the game wears on, but don't carry the confidence that comes from that over to the next day, the next week, the next game. Because, again, people have asked all week long, which team shows up in the first quarter? Well, the one that gives up the play action pass touchdown every week is really annoying. That's a tough one to watch. Teams will run play action when they haven't established the run, and we bite on it. It's unbelievable.
If you look at the numbers too, the advanced metrics on what Syracuse does from play action, they're terrible at it too. I mean, you're talking about weakness against weakness when it comes to the back end of the secondary against the deep throw ability for their quarterbacks.
You could argue that both teams in the film room are licking their chops to see the other.
Right. Yeah, I think that's correct.
Ooh, it's rare. Usually,
if I'm the Orange defense, I'm looking like, here's another field day.
Yeah.
Because they will. I mean, they've got 24 sacks, I think, so far this year.
No, do they really?
That was the number I saw on Pro Football Focus. Now, again, you never want to take all those grading things as gospel, but yeah, they've got one of the top.
They are. They've recorded on the year. I'm just looking at a total number here. I pulled up. Yeah, they recorded 39 tackles for a loss.
Right.
That's fourth best in the entire FBS.
Now, again, you got to take a look at their schedule and see who they're playing. Which
Albany.
Right. It's largely nobody.
Ohio,
right?
Who might be one of the worst teams in the
Rutgers,
might be one of the three worst teams in the country.
And then Liberty. I don't know what the hell the game plan.
Rutgers played toe-to-toe with Michigan. Holshiano's got him playing, man.
Yeah.
He does. He got him playing.
I think this is a weird year where you got a lot of week-to-week things going on.
Oh, of course. I'm not
saying
saying
some anomalies out there.
I'm just saying Rutgers has shown well as the season has gone on. They're clearly playing hard and playing much better.
Their quarterback against Syracuse looked like our quarterback's trying to run the zone read under Jimbo. You talk about every decision being wrong, and if you make the other decision, it's a touchdown. I mean, on both keeps or gives. I'm thinking, oh my God, the offensive coordinator must be going mad. But the thing about Syracuse and the reason that they generate so many chances in the backfield is you don't know who to block. They're very good at waiting until the last instant before declaring who is staying and who is bringing pressure.
Real short segment here. We'll get out, come back. We'll talk about solving the future with our friends from ISF here in a second. Trying to solve for this future. Woo. Tall task. You need ISF. Force Nation to hire ISF.
You need a second chalkboard.
We need 3 or 4 whiteboards in here, buddy. We need to go grab the old one and buy 3 more. Start mapping out game plans. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Today is a deadline for 750 Leon County employees to prove they have been vaccinated or lose their job. Most have already gotten shots, but the state is likely to put the county on notice it is violating state law. In the state of Florida, only Leon County and the city of Orlando are requiring employee vaccine mandates. Both jurisdictions want proof of a vaccine by the end of the day today. Leon County is likely to soon get a letter telling them that they are in violation of state law. The letter threatens $5,000 fines could be assessed for each employee. It also asks how many were required to prove their status. If the state State follows through with fines, Leon County could be looking at $3.7 million in fines. A vehicle traveling westbound on I-10 struck a concrete barrier and rolled onto its side on Wednesday, blocking traffic in the west outside lane for right at 2 hours. The driver of the vehicle, a 40-year-old man, and the passenger, a 33-year-old woman, were both unharmed. No other cars were involved in the incident. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at macklemoresystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. More clouds than sun this afternoon with highs around 89. Easterly winds around 5 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Lows level off around 70. Daytime highs approaching 89 tomorrow. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Upper 80s Saturday and Sunday with a chance for scattered storms Sunday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 86.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites, only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Greg Tish.
Matt, you know what we're celebrating Friday morning on the Greg Tish Show?
Taco Tuesday.
No, we're celebrating my 3rd anniversary here at Real Talk 93.3, and we're going to be giving away some awards.
Really?
Some Greggy awards.
The Greggies.
The Greggies tomorrow, 6 a.m. on the Greg Tish. Are you playing me off?
We only have a certain amount of time.
All right, 6 a.m., the Greg Tish Show, 3rd anniversary show, Friday morning.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Gremlins are gone. No,
don't
maybe
know.
not. Yeah, I shouldn't do that, right?
Yeah, that's like tempting fate and saying our defensive woes are gone. Look at that second half.
Here's where we solve for the future, thanks to my friends at ISF who sponsor this feature. And listen, ISF, if you don't know what they are, they're an IT and strategy firm. They have been for 40 years. They've served state government. They have business clients across the country, and they are experts in government processes. They've worked with government agencies across the country. They've done a lot of stuff, unmatched expertise in developing strategies, evaluating and refining process, making everything more efficient for you. So if you work for state government, you want it to be more efficient, that's for sure. And you need their expertise solving the future through strategy, process, and technology. Make sure you go to isf.com and contact them and start talking about how they can work for you and advise you and protect you and advance your business and your technology needs. It's a weird thing, Tom. Solving the future for Florida State, I think, involves recruiting. It's not the on-field product this year. It's holding on to that class. And I think the feeling of hopelessness is we like quick fixes. We like things to be easy. We want things to change if it's bad, whatever it is in our lives, overnight. We're an instant society. This is not a judgment. It's just the way technology is tracked. It's what's happened for all of us. We do have instant access to information at our fingertips, right? And so most things that you need information to help solve, you do have instantaneous options. And Florida State's a long-term fix, and there isn't an instant option to make the bad things go away. It's getting better players. It's also having to remain true to what you believe are the foundations for changing an entire program. And so by definition, you just have to stay the course, because once you lay the groundwork for that, you can't go back on that. You know it's not an instant fix. You're telling guys to buy in, to work hard, and get better a little bit every day. The climb was all about that. By the very definition, it is a slow process, slow turnaround, and slow is antithetical to what people want when they want change. And so I don't know that solving for the future in this case for Florida State is anything other than staying the course, staying on message, getting a little bit better every day. It may not instantly result in big wins in the near future, but I think that consistency and that continuity is what Florida State needs most. It's why they can't make a change, even for the people clamoring that they should. You cannot be at square one over and over and over again. And every time you fire somebody, you're at square one. You're starting over. You nuke your class. You get done with any of the positive changes that were put into place, whether that was by Willie, whether it's by Mike or anybody else for that matter. If you just keep making changes, you're starting over with a new blueprint time and again, and they cannot afford to do that. So they have to hope that consistency of message, that groundwork that he talked about this week, doing things the right way, the way he knows them to be. You can disagree with him. That's fine. That's your choice. That's, if you don't think it's going to work, fine. That's okay. You have that opinion, but he can't be that way. And I'm not saying you, Tom, per se. I'm just talking about the fan base who's reacted, obviously, angrily to these losses as they continue to mount. I think that consistency of message is why a lot of these recruits bought in to begin with, because he didn't lie to them about what this program was or needs. He didn't tell them that they're a player away. He didn't tell them that, wait till you see this season, we're going to go from 3 wins to 8 wins. He didn't say anything like that. I mean, we know that there's been real consistent messaging behind the scenes to these kids. And that's why game in and game out, when they lose, these guys come out publicly and say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for the long haul. I trust what he's doing. I believe in him. And that is rather remarkable. Now, you're going to lose some kids. Now, that was always going to be true. Florida State could win 9 games and you'd lose some of those kids. Just that's the nature of recruiting, especially if some of the kids are awaiting, let's say Florida State's along the lines of, at least traditionally, with the cachet built in, the better school that has offered them. Well, somewhere along the way, maybe Clemson, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, or somebody else offers you, and you're only, usually as good as your options. So he ends up, those kids might end up taking another option. But I think the core of this class, most importantly, Travis Hunter, who's already been offered by everybody under the sun, has remained vigilant in his commitment to Florida State. I think that will stay in place because they've been consistent.
Yeah, and that's just the first step, right? Is you need a player like that, Duffy, to stick. Because again, I don't know that AJ Duffy as a true freshman is going to be something that could solve all your problems or even most of your problems.
They're not going to be a good team next year, Tom. They're not going to be a good team.
But it signals to other kids that, hey, let's say yes as well. It inspires other kids to say, well, they're fixing some things over there. I think in the immediate term, though, just something worth doing to solve for this particular game so you can get on the board with a win. I would like to feel like if we go down, and we might not, this is a really winnable game.
Very winnable game.
But
in fact, you're favored to do so.
If we go down, that Corbin and Ward were given every opportunity to help us win. And that has been the frustrating thing in some losses earlier this year where I'm thinking, well, those are our 2 best playmakers. They can make something out of nothing better than anybody else on that offense, not named a healthy Jordan Travis. And we haven't seen that guy this year either. And yet they're only going to get the ball a fraction of the time. I understand that teams could key against the run, but would you rather throw the ball up to Keyshawn Helton or put the ball in the hands of Trayshawn Ward and Jayshawn Corbin?
They stopped throwing the ball to Keyshawn Helton, period.
I understand. And, Pokey Wilson, you name your guy. Would you rather throw it up to one of those guys or put it in the hands of these particular players? My thing is, if you're trying to give yourself the best chance to solve this upcoming weekend, they've got to be the focal points one way or another. Look at what Syracuse does. I know, as a Florida State radio personality, we're saying, look at what Syracuse does on offense. They're going to run the ball 40 to 50 times. They're going to give it to a kid who's got the 2nd most rushing yards in FBS and the 2nd most scrimmage yards in FBS, who's a true freshman. They didn't even know that they were going to go with him. And they said, by week 2, this is our guy. Ride or die. I like that approach, given that you don't have other options. Maximize the ones you do.
The whole thing is winning first down. All of this can be done if you win first down, because you can run tempo if you win first down. You don't even have to win first down by definition.
Right.
You just can't lose it.
Right. Yeah.
So play to a draw and then run tempo. I mean, whatever. But yes, they will do that then. Also, Tom, it's easier to really stress the run game when you're not down 31-7. So can we stop, giving up huge leads?
Sure.
It's tough to stick with the run when you're getting your ass beat 31-7.
Sure, that wasn't the answer. Sure, we can. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. So, I think that's a big part of it too.
I liked what I saw this weekend, continuity in the game plan.
Yeah.
They set some things up. They went back to it. There were some calls and some responses. You like those things. And that's going to help us, because what does it do? It, again, gives you a chance to take advantage of the athleticism that you have in number 0 and number 8 over and over. If you want the best chance to solve for this weekend, they've got to get the ball, and you got to find ways to do it. Even if that means that there's an RPO that you go the other way 3 times, that's going to give them one fewer body to get around when you hand the football to them.
I think they discovered something last week on both sides of the ball that they're going to stick with. I think that there is an idea now of how to approach games. You won't always be able to execute it. You don't have great personnel. It may not be good enough in some instances. There'll be teams that we play this year where they could call it perfect. You could call everything that we're talking about, and it won't be good enough. You're going to lose the game because you can't block it up at all. I think the Clemson game comes to mind. Like, this offensive line can't block Jacksonville State consistently. Good luck with that one.
Can I ask you a fun question about the Clemson game real quick? If at the end of the game the box score reads turnovers, Clemson 4, Florida State 1, what chance do we have of actually winning that ball game?
Maurice Smith, Robert Scott play, and are they healthy?
Sure. Yes.
Well,
but yes. Yeah. I'm not going to say no, because then the answer is hell no. So yes.
Those two play. Clemson turns it over 4 times.
We turn it over once. +3 in the turnover margin. That's got to be the healthiest chance we've had to beat Clemson since Dalvin was erroneously, the run was called back because the Thunder's block.
Could we win?
+3.
You need those turnovers to be on their side of the field. You really do. Yeah. You need those turnovers to be because you can't trust Fitzgerald right now.
It's not a fumble at the 20 going in.
Right.
Yeah. And we start first and 10 from the 17.
Yeah. No, that's we're not driving down the field. So you need those 3, that +3 turnover margin. They need to be on the other side of the 50, where you maybe have to convert a first down or 2 to have a chance at points.
That screams 17-13 to me, man. Yeah. That's what that game says. We missed the extra point.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, my prediction of 27-24 for the Warchant purposes, Ira this morning said to me, "Oh, so you got a made field goal, a couple made field goals." Like, "Oh no, that would have been 28. He just missed the extra point." By the way, what was troubling about the missed extra point? Frankly, the missed field goal too. They never looked like they had a chance. They were terrible kicks. Just damn sorry. I'm like, what are we doing out here, kid?
Not making kicks.
He comes back later on and makes one, and Corey's like praised it. I said, Corey, you can't. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't miss a field goal and an extra point, and then a guy makes one. You're like, all right, there it is. No, man.
Well, if you've got a player that you love in baseball that's in an 0 for 16, and that first hit feels pretty good. He's 1 for 17, but you don't focus on that in the moment. It's 1 for 1. It starts anew.
Let my friends at ISF help you with the obstacles that you deal with in IT and your ideas to move forward and streamline workflows. They've done this for over 1,500 projects, and they've 40 years in business. They know what they're doing. ISF will help you realize your innovation vision. So give them a look today, isf.com. Appreciate them sponsoring this segment. Jeff Cameron, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks, we fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Your body is a masterpiece designed to heal itself from within. Learn how to maximize your health by tuning in to Phenomenal Health with me, Dr. Ryan Finn. Saturdays at 2:30. Experience true health today and call Finn Chiropractic at 386-7700.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks, but real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group investment guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings in a retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.
Producer, and it's just you and him, and he's just singing a part. You know, it could be anything, right? And you haven't laid the tracks yet. He's not hearing anything. He's just singing. Like, how cool a moment. Like, you wonder, did a producer at any time think it just simply doesn't get any better than this? Like, nobody can sing like this.
Well, I think every subsequent recording that producer would have been in on, they
just so disappointed.
I mean, a couple of notes, I guess.
I mean, sorry, I'm just a little disappointed you're not Sam Cooke. Yeah, man. Nobody was. Unbelievable. Hey, if a tree falls on your roof, that's not good. Not going to be happy about that. Hopefully nobody's hurt, but the roof is damaged and you need help. Call my man T-Spark, T-Spark Enterprises. Roofing and construction. T-Spark is one phone call away from not only inspecting the roof and getting you back in good shape, but also he is a general licensed contractor. And he'll take care of any structural damage to your dwelling as well. So it happens, man. Roofers can't, in and of themselves, really necessarily do that, but T-Spark can. It's one call. You have a general contractor and a roofer in one with T-Spark Enterprise. That's a good thing. Give him a call today, 850-766-1340.
Yeah, one thing I'd add to that is if you're a first-timer like I was, don't worry. He's got you. You'll feel comfortable within about 5 minutes. The conversation, he'll lay it all out. He has the plan. He's seen a lot of things from the ground on up all the way to your roof. Don't be afraid. I know as a new homeowner, a lot of calls are scary. He won't make it for you. He'll make it very simple.
Well, St. Louis just refuses to. Did they win last night again?
I don't know. I saw they were down 1-0.
Matthew, did they win last night, Cardinals?
But that's a negatory.
Oh, so the 17-game win streak is over? Sweet Jesus. It's good to see. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. Probables brought to you by North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Bottom 6, Cards lead the Brewers 4-3. That's Brett Anderson and J.A. Happ. Still out here pitching, are you, J.A.? Angels, Rangers, top 2, 5-0. Angels, Alex Cobb, Glenn Otto. Hey, I'm Glenn Otto. Welcome to Glenn Otto. Cubs, Pirates, Justin Steele, Miguel Yarwe. Red Sox, Orioles, Nick Pivetta, Alexander Wells. We got the Yankees and the Blue Jays, Corey Kluber, Robbie Ray.
Hey! All right, so I picked it up. That's a massive game because the Yankees have the Rays this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
If Toronto wins that game, it's a green light special to the playoffs for the Blue Jays.
We hope. Let's make that happen. Come on. Rays, Astros, Colin McHugh, Lance McCullers Jr., Marlins, Mets, in front of about 7 people. Edward Cabrera and Rich Hill, Phillies, Braves, Kyle Gibson, Ian Anderson, Tigers, Twins, Tariq Skubal, and Joe Ryan. Joe Ryan sounds like the team's broadcaster. Hi, I'm Joe Ryan. Welcome to Twins Baseball.
I feel comfortable, too.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Joe Ryan's on the call today. All right.
Thank God he's back.
Yeah, I like Joe.
They said it was personal leave. I'm glad he's okay.
He's healthy. Joe Ryan, Buck Smith with you.
Oh, Buck Smith.
Buck, got an interesting one today when the Tigers come to town.
We sure do.
We should do an entire... I'm going to be Joe Ryan. You're going to be Buck
Smith.
Buck Smith. We're going to do a game. It'll be on the Bellying Up pod, which we rekindle this next week.
It's coming.
Joe Ryan here alongside Buck Smith. The Twins have lost 5 straight, but today might be the day as Joe Ryan, my namesake, on the mound.
These are the games you live for. Buck Smith, live down the first base line.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday at game number 57. He's saying these are the games you live for.
Well, we got a matinee for you today, folks.
Indians, Royals, Shane Bieber, Angels, Zerpa. Where's our Zerpa? I can't climb. That would be
That's a joke I throw out there.
Oh, but it's pretty good. It was so bad it was good. D-backs, Giants, Madison Bumgarner and Scott Kazmir, Padres, Dodgers. What?
Scott Kazmir's back?
Scotty Kazmir back out here, baby. That's right, it is Scott Kazmir. What? That's crazy. Padres, Dodgers, Vince Velasquez, Tony Goslin, and that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Hey, one thing I hope does happen is that Jermaine Johnson gets another sack and continues to lead the country. Man, you swung for the fences on Jermaine Johnson and you hit a 470-footer. I mean, that guy has been amazing.
Yeah, there were some players that, I don't know if they panned out too well, but Jermaine's been fine. Keir Thomas has been good for that defensive line.
Remember that defensive back they brought in from UCF that everybody talked about?
He was not given a scholarship, though, right?
Well, I don't know what happened, but he's not on the field, that's for sure.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Hey, you got a starter out of Dylan Gibbons.
I'm telling you, that's a hit.
It is a hit.
He's not a good player, but he was clearly better than the other people we had because he's starting.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a single back up the box. It might be a flare, but it's a single.
It dropped.
You're on base.
I'm standing on first. They don't draw pictures. So that, that's fine. I will, I'll take that.
That's like the par our mutual friend Nikki once had on 16 at Cap. It's bladed. It's going 30 yards over. It lands directly into the cup.
Oh, man.
First hop. Just flies in. Yeah.
You're like, that's a par, boys.
Nice par.
Put that on the card.
Would have been a 7.
Yeah, sometimes it works that way. The transfer portal is always going to be a hit and miss game. There's a reason guys are in the transfer portal, and it's not always good. I will say this, Tom, and we didn't talk about it today. We got a chance tomorrow on Libations Friday, but Parchman showed up last week.
He did.
He mattered. I thought he was basically off the team, and here he was.
Yeah, a couple of throws showed a lot of trust and or desperation, maybe a combination of both out of McKenzie, but into traffic, and Parchment was able to fight and win the football. Okay. All right.
Yeah, except for when he needed to late in the game.
I wasn't, I was just going to focus on the positive.
Yeah,
it's like when I brought up that Cam McDonald made a great 360 catch, You got to focus on the positives. We're 0-4. There's going to be more negatives. We know this.
You look at Cam and you just don't understand why he's not a better player. Look at him. He looks like a matchup nightmare.
Our pal Gabe Neighbors would have been great in this system.
Oh, you see Gabe get the touchdown called back last week? He scores on a tough play. He gets drilled, lands on his back, scores, and they had to take it away. I was pissed because it was a penalty. Good work out of you. Good work, Matthew. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be well. Take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow.